Alright, welcome back to another Koenji-shan Reviews. And this is my first vid of 2022 after taking a couple weeks off for the Nenmatsu Japanese year-end holidays, but I am back. This video is essentially my manga haul for December, but I picked up around 70 plus volumes last month, so instead of going over everything, I'll just go over the stuff I'm really interested in, the kind of stuff that I really like or that I'm looking forward to reading here soon. So first of all, we have some Matsumoto Taiyo. This is 100. This is less manga. It's basically there's some short stories in it, textless short stories, and it's an art book. It's mostly an art book though. And I was walking by my local chain bookstore, Dorama, and they had a 50% off everything sale. So I scored this for 550 yen. A little bit of damage on the cover, but other than that, it looks pretty good. Little short textless stories, but as you get into it, more of an art book. Of course, I love Kuro and Shiro from Tekkon Kinkurito. And there is some, oh, there we go, from the ocean scene. Really is a beautiful book. Yeah, so that was a good score. There is a city truck driving by right now. I don't know if you heard that in the background. Probably doing a Corona Taisaku announcement. Corona prevention announcement of some kind. Also, I picked up this copy of Hirata Hiroshi passed away, so I wanted to pick this up. This is kind of just like a reference guide, but it has interviews with him, background of his life, sketches. I scored this. This is brand new, but I scored it for 1,200 yen online. A friend of mine picked up a copy as well from the same seller for 1,600 or 800 yen. I think it retails for like, what did it retail for? 2,600 yen? So whoever it was selling must have had a bunch of dead stock laying around. Maybe they had bought some dead stock, or maybe they used to run a bookstore or something. But some cool color pages in here. And I'm looking forward to reading the interview stuff. There's some Zatoichi in here. Manga about Hirata Hiroshi. So I'm looking forward to digging through this. Haven't had a chance yet, but it should be pretty cool. Alright, moving on. I've been trying to round out my Kaneko Atsushi collection, so there's a few things I'm missing. I actually picked up Bambi remodeled 1 and 2, so I need to get the rest of those. I think there's 6 in the series, or 7. And I picked up Atomic, read this over the break. This is good. It's a quick read, but the colors are awesome. I think this is from 2001. So that was a pretty cool score. Then I picked up the whole BQ series. Can't say that I I mean, these covers are pretty cool, I guess. Covers are a little bit dirty, but I got the whole set for like, I don't know, 777 yen, I think it was. So, let me just flip through one a little bit. One of his earlier series. Classic Atsushi Kaneko artwork and storytelling. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. I've read everything else. I read Bambi years ago. I also picked up Wet Moon in Japanese, the physicals, last month because, you know, I had read it in English online last year or 2 years ago, and I thought it would be a good idea to just pick up the physicals to add to my collection because I have almost everything by Atsushi Kaneko, and right now I'm deep into the Evil series. Volume 3 came out at the beginning of December. I picked that up. Looks like this. His newest series. It is so fun. I strongly recommend it as soon as it gets released. Hopefully in English soon. I know it's going to end up being released in France. Not sure about the Spanish market, but this is a great series. I've mentioned it before, but yes, kids becoming supervillains, awesome. At my local pop-up bookstore that shows up once or twice a month, I found this Ishii Takashi series to kind of add to my Ishii collection. I haven't read these yet, but here, let me show you some of what I can show. Of course, Gekiga, extremely violent, extremely sexual, so I can't show much of it, but that's what my Patreon page is for. I do go through some of his stuff on my Patreon, so if you're interested in seeing the insides of those, I do a full flip through of Marak. So if you want to check that out, head on over to my Patreon page, Koenji-chan Reviews. The artwork is sick though. But of course there's going to be violence, per usual. Of course, I did a video on Angel Guts in the past and kind of a breakdown of Ishii, so if you're interested in that, check out that video. This month I also picked up the USCA Whole 5-volume series. This one, the volume 1 is from 2013, and then volume 5 came out in 2016. These are compilations of indie mangaka. You see, I don't know, about 20 stories there by probably 10, 15 different people. Well, no, they're all different, but a lot of the same mangaka show up in the later volumes, but I haven't read these yet. It's been sitting over at the used bookstore around the corner from my house, the full set, forever, and I finally just broke down and bought it because it's in such great condition. And it's always fun reading the, you know, new artists, new mangaka, new stories, and trying to find new people to pick up, read, and collect. So that was fun. And then finally, it's kind of a lot here. I've mentioned in the past that I've been buying a lot of Koike, a lot of Ikegami, a lot of Kanoh Seisaku. Kind of went on a huge bender. So here's some of the stuff that I picked up. Here, I'll go through them. So I picked up the full Crying Freeman set. I haven't read Crying Freeman for 15 years. So it was really cool to find it and get the whole set in pretty solid condition. I remember the movie adaptation was horrible, just horrible. I think it was produced by Showtime or HBO back in the day. But it might be fun to go revisit. Might be good for some laughs. So, Koike and Ikegami, of course. I also picked up the 2-volume series, Kyoko. This is volume 2. Volume 1, she's naked on the cover, so maybe that's not the best thing to show here on YouTube, just like that. There's a wild fight at the beginning, which is pretty crazy. But I actually haven't started reading this yet. I've been reading some other Ikegami and Koike stuff and Seisaku, like Kanoh Seisaku stuff instead. I found this old King Series 20, this the Gekiga King series. I love this series, a lot of stuff. This one is Koike and Kojima. Pretty cool. Of course, this is a Gekiga, but kind of Jidai Geki. It's like a period piece. And it gets pretty wild as well. I kind of flipped through it, but I haven't completely read this yet. Looking forward to it. But I bought a whole bunch of series, as you will see here in uno momento. I found a couple box sets with a bunch of stuff together. So this Ikegami is Nobunaga. I believe that there's about 9 volumes in this series, but I picked up the whole series. It was part of a box set that includes some other stuff as well. So I got a deal on it. I forget what I paid, to be honest. I was looking at a list. I actually keep a list. I'll put a list down below of everything I picked up in December, and it includes the prices on it and stuff, but yeah. This should be a fun one to read. But this is really fun to read. This is Itoshi no Betty, Ma Monogatari. So it's about Betty Valentine. She's a witch. This is volume 1. I believe there's 17 volumes in this series. I picked them all up. Great series. It's like a combination between kind of witches and supernatural, and there's some gangster elements going on, and there's a lot of gags happening. So it's pretty much a gag manga, but with some kind of racy, wild stuff going on as well. Lots of sexy time stuff going on, but also lots of like weird magic stuff going on. So yeah, I read volume 1 so far. I'm going to get into the series and try to hammer out a few more of them here soon. I did a review on my Patreon page for Maggie's dog. Did a full flip through and kind of talked about it and stuff. And I mentioned on there that I also picked up and read Maggie's Dog Jr., which is a really fun series. It's just as good as the original, but I believe this came out in the early 2000s, while Maggie's Dog, I want to say late 80s, but I'd have to double check that. But probably not going to flip through these too much. But again, Maggie's Joe is Maggie's dog, and Maggie is, of course, his boss. They are assassins. They use Joe's murderous skills and her sexy appeal to kill people and to blackmail people and do all sorts of wild stuff. Really fun series. Again, Koike Kazuo and Kanoh Seisaku. Kanoh Seisaku is, of course, it just has an awesome touch, so I'll read anything by the two of them together. I also picked up Mob. Mob is just a one-off. This is, again, Gekiga King series. I'm looking forward to reading this. Kind of a sexy police kind of story, I think. Mafia story. So this should be fun. And I got the whole Oscar series. Again, 15 volumes? Something like that. 14, 15. So I haven't started reading it yet, but again, in that same vein of, a combination of like kind of action, thriller, with lots of sexy time stuff in it. And it should be a fun series. Again, Kanoh Seisaku's covers are amazing. So I picked up this whole series. It's probably going to take me a year to do a video on Koike and Kanoh and Ikegami because they're so prolific and I bought so much damn stuff. It's going to take me forever to get through it all. But that's the fun part. And finally, to round it out, here's another Koike. I found this for 100 yen at my local used bookstore. And here's some Ikegami Ryoichi. But check out the art in this. I read this one over the break too. It's a combination of period piece with yokai story. Not really horror, but more like Yuki Onna story. You can look up the Yuki Onna on Wikipedia if you don't know the background. Beautiful artwork throughout. So that was a great score. And then I picked up Gorikide. And this is also Gorikide in English at the top here too. This is also a period piece. I have not even flipped through it yet, so I know very little about this story. Found this also for 100 yen at my local used bookstore in great condition, so of course I had to pick it up because Ikegami. And that, my friends, is the stuff I'm really looking forward to reading, or that I have been reading over the break in December. And of course that gives you some hints into some stuff I'll be doing in the future. I've got some more videos coming up here soon. Again, if you want to get some more video content more quickly, head on over to my Patreon page. It's cheap, it's just $3 a month. And I can put anything up over there. So I can show the insides of Ishii that I cannot show on YouTube, of course. And I have about 13 videos up there already. So there's plenty of content there to dig through, and I'll be putting up more stuff weekly. But thanks again, everyone, for watching my videos. It's always fun to show what I've been picking up, what I've been reading, and I will be back soon with some manga profile videos. That's my goal for January. So until next time, mata ne.